My name is Brian McEldowney, and I'm NKU's Assistant Athletic Director for Communications and Media Services. I'd like to welcome you to today's press conference and formal announcement of the fifth head coach in the history of Northern Kentucky women's basketball. Before we begin, there's a few housekeeping items I'd like to go over. We will have 3 speakers today: Northern Kentucky University President Jeffrey Mearns, Director of Athletics Ken Butoff, and our new women's basketball head coach. Following the 3 speakers, we'll have a brief period where we will open up for questions from the members of the media. They can direct questions to President Mearns, Ken, and Coach. For the members of the media, Amanda Nageleisen and Mike Anderson will have microphones for you to use. Please raise your hand, and they will bring the microphone to you. At the conclusion of the traditional press conference, members of the media will also be given an opportunity to have one-on-one interviews with President Mearns, Ken, Coach, and women's basketball student-athlete Kelly Wigman. Immediately following the press conference, there will be a reception in the vault, which is located on the opposite end of the building on the ground floor. You are all cordially invited to attend. At this time, I'd like to welcome President Jeffrey Mearns.
So good morning, everyone. It's a privilege, as you know, it's a privilege for me to serve as the president of Northern Kentucky University, and it's a real pleasure to be with you this morning. As many of you know, I often say that something special is happening at our university, and today is certainly an example of what I mean. This is a very special day for our women's basketball program and for our university as a whole. So it's special because we're here to welcome Camryn Whitaker to the university and as our new head women's basketball coach. And what she's going to learn very quickly is that this is a community that rallies to support our students, to support our student athletes, to express our pride in the institution and our appreciation for our students and our advisors and our coaches do every day on the court and on the field. And she's brought with her some special people who I'm going to introduce. I understand her parents, Connie and Mac, are here, and her aunt and uncle, Donna Sue and Jimmy, and this is her sister, Noelle, and her niece, Harper, and I'm going to make them stand, and we're going to give them a hearty Norse welcome. Thank you for joining us. I also want to thank several people who were instrumental in bringing this search process to a quick and very successful conclusion. I want to thank Ken for his ongoing leadership here at our university. I'm very proud and pleased with the work that you do, Ken. Thank you for all that you do every day. Also, the Athletic Council. I know we have several members of the Athletic Council who responded very quickly to a meeting that Ken and I had with them and the support that they provided to us to make this search such a success. And also, there were several of them who were on the search committee, Bob Griffin and Dr. Mary Kirk. I saw Mary. Where is she? There she is, front and center. Mary, thank you. Dan McIver and Debbie Kirch and Coach B, John Brannon, thank you for your assistance. And Leslie Fields, thank you as well. You know, when I had a chance to meet Coach Witt last week, I could tell right away that she was a competitor. And I like that. As some of you know, I like that a lot. I could also tell that she was an educator, that she understood the role of athletics as part of our educational mission. I could also tell that she was going to be an outstanding role model for our student athletes and for our program, and I could tell that she is a leader. And those are all attributes that we know are so critical to the success of our athletics program and to the success of our university. You know, we're very proud of women's basketball here at Northern Kentucky University. Very proud because we have a very long track record of success. We have had, this is no pressure, Coach, we've had 33 consecutive winning seasons and 2 national championships, and a lot of that is attributable to Coach Nancy Winstel, who is here today with us. And then in the 4 years of our transition to Division I basketball, our women's basketball team has earned a postseason berth every one of those 4 years. And that's a great testament, and we know we're going to have great success in the future. But what I am most proud of, and as you know, I certainly am proud of the fact that we win on the court and win on the field, no doubt about it. But what I'm most proud about of our student athletes and our athletics program is the success that our student athletes have in the classroom. Last semester, it was the 9th semester in a row that our student athletes overall, across all sports programs, we had a GPA above 3.0. And last fall, was the highest GPA, single semester GPA, in the history of the university. So as we transition to this higher level of competition, our student athletes continue to excel at the highest level in the classroom. And our women's basketball team had an academic progress rate among the top 10% of all programs in Division I in the country. And that certainly is something that we're all very proud of. So we know as a university and as an athletic program, and particularly in women's basketball, we are on the rise. And Coach, we're delighted that you're here to help us fuel that ascent. Thank you very much, and welcome to Norse Nation.
Well, thank you. It is great to see so many of you with us this morning. And I certainly want to thank President Mearns for involving himself in this process. It makes a strong commitment to each of the candidates to have an opportunity to meet with the president of the university, and the strong commitment that we have here for our basketball program. So thank you very much. I'd also like to thank the Search Advisory Committee, all of you that participated in many different ways, but certainly the time that you spent with each of the candidates and the feedback that you provided. It's a great resource to know that you have individuals on a campus who not only know education, but know about relationships with student athletes, how important they are, the academic side, but also have a real appreciation for the basketball and for coaching young student athletes. So thank you very much for your participation. I would like to give a shout out to Leslie Fields. Leslie is our Associate Athletic Director and Senior Woman Administrator. Leslie, thank you for your guidance, keeping me on task, and most importantly, your input on the candidates, the many candidates that we met with during this process. So thank you. As with our men's basketball search, the quality of applicants for this position was excellent. While I felt it was important to move the search process along quickly, I certainly wasn't going to move so quickly that we overlooked someone who would bring their qualities here to Northern Kentucky University. But we knew we wanted to move it quickly. The most exciting thing was that people that we knew that we would have an interest in also expressed an interest very quickly in our opening. When you have those people and we're all interested together, it can make a search come together pretty quickly. And that certainly happened here with this search process. It didn't surprise me to have the quality of applicants that we had. Certainly the success that we enjoyed under Jane Meyer's leadership here, and obviously Coach Nancy Winstel, and the success that we had. And then the success that we had through the transition, through four pretty tough years of reclassification. It was certainly an opportunity that everyone saw and could have a great deal of success. As you know, our goal in every search is to find a great fit for Northern Kentucky University, for our athletic department, and most importantly for our student athletes. Someone who would understand the importance of success, not just athletically, but academically. Obviously, we were looking for someone with recruiting ties to Ohio, to Kentucky, to Indiana, and most importantly, really someone who would share in our core values: integrity, student-athlete wellness, inclusiveness, and obviously excellence. We were able to move the search along, and obviously the person that stood out the most was Camryn Whitaker. Camryn is a coach's daughter, grew up just down the road in Cynthiana, and I think that's actually pretty darn important. I think they have a good feel for the game of whatever game it might be that they participate in, but also have a good understanding from a father figure who understands relationships with student athletes and the importance of those relationships. She went on to become a highly successful student athlete at Western Kentucky University, where they earned postseason berths during each of her seasons there. She had a few stops at some mid-major schools, which I think are always important at our level. That experience that comes with honing your skills in that environment. And it led to a coaching opportunity with someone I respect a great deal in Coach Jaber at Dayton University. Very successful 3 years there, participating in the NCAA tournament and obviously an Elite Eight berth. Then moved on to a successful year at Kentucky where they participated in the Sweet 16. Coach Jaber spoke very highly of Camryn's skills as a basketball coach. He said that all of the things have prepared her for the leadership opportunity that's now presented her. Talked of her competitiveness, her basketball IQ, and her ability to build relationships with student athletes. Relationships that were important because of the demands that are important to place on student athletes. And I'll finish with, I guess, the final, not interview, but discussion that we had with our current basketball team, which I think goes a long way to talk about building relationships in a short period of time. I think we also know how important that is in recruiting. You don't get to spend hours and hours and hours with young men and young women, but certainly that connection is important. When I walked in to introduce Camryn to the team, it was one of the first times that I can remember in quite a while that it was darn near a standing ovation. They were excited. They were extremely excited. And I think that goes a long ways. She had spent an hour, a little more than an hour with them during the interview process, asked a lot of questions. They were a great group of young ladies to ask questions, to get feedback. They wanted to know things about their new leader. And that gave me a sense of pride in what we had accomplished. They certainly know that the demands are going to be great on them. They certainly know they have a coach who's excited to be at Northern Kentucky University. And with that, I'd like to please welcome all of us to the podium, our new head women's basketball coach, Camryn Whitaker.
I'm a little overwhelmed right now with all the people that are here. I'm trying to just take it all in. I know you only get to do this one time for the first time. So thank you so much to President Mearns and Ken. This process has been amazing for me. I've gotten to meet so many good people along the way, and I'm just so thankful to you guys for trusting me and having confidence in me in this women's basketball program. I'm sure that the girls won't be giving me a standing ovation every day. They haven't been yelled at yet. A couple other people I'd like to thank. Obviously, you guys saw my family, and you will see them often. I'm sure in no time Harper will be out there running around, and I can't wait to get a ball in her hands. But I have some friends that are here. My good friend and college roommate, Lindsey Broerman. Petey has been around forever. He lives in this area, and I went to college with him. He was our manager. These two guys over here, Bart Lennox, Brian Adair, are brothers to me. We grew up together, and they surprised me today, so I really appreciate you guys coming. And then I look over here and see some people from Western Kentucky and Caleb, and thank you so much. It's so good to see you here. You know, some people say that raising a child, and I don't have this experience, but raising a child, it takes a village. And I say it takes a village to raise a coach. You know, you come across a lot of people along the way through assistant coaches, players, head coaches. There are so many people, AAU coaches, high school coaches, that just have such a huge part in the success, and no one becomes successful alone. I'd like to thank Carrie Daniels from Austin P, who recruited me to Western Kentucky, who gave me my first opportunity to coach. She trusted me so much that she gave me a job I had no experience, and I'm really grateful to her for that and the role that she's played in my life. Nyla Millison, who allowed me to come to Missouri State and be the recruiting coordinator, it gave me so much room to grow my recruiting base and be able to be out in the Midwest and make new contacts. Then I moved on to Western Kentucky to play for Mary Cowles, who's like a mom to me. I know that she would like to be here if she could be. She has meant so much to my life and has been such a great role model, and I learned a lot from her. Jim Jaber, Ken spoke of Jim. He gave me so much room at Dayton to grow and allowed me to call plays and coach and draw up plays and timeouts. And if it weren't for that experience, I wouldn't be as confident as I am now that I'm ready to be the head coach. And then Matthew Mitchell at Kentucky gave me an opportunity to come back home to a state that I love and I'm so passionate about. So for that, I'm just so thankful to them, to the coaches that have played a role in my development and who have seen something in me to give me opportunities to do what I love. To all the former players that I've coached during this process, some of them reached out to me and told me what an impact I had in their lives, and I was surprised because, a lot of times you don't get that type of feedback from your players, but they have allowed me to coach them, to see them succeed on and off the floor, and that's why we do this. You want to see these people go on and become successful in life. Basketball is such a short time in your life, so you want to be able to see them achieve successes in business or being doctors or whatever it might be they want to do professionally. And I'm just really grateful that my former players have allowed me to coach them and given me that opportunity. It means a lot to me. I have a really good friend, Kim Rosamond, who's been a mentor to me. She just became the head coach at Tennessee Tech this year, and we're going to play each other. So it's kind of ironic. I told her I hope she didn't expect any favors. But I know she really wanted to be here today, and I'm grateful to her and then several other friends in my circle of coaching that have helped me prepare for this. And lastly, I do have to take a few minutes to talk about my family, the most important thing to me. And I won't get emotional. My Uncle Jimmy, who coached me in Little League Baseball, and he's been my dad's assistant coach for as many years, for my entire life. I'm just so thankful for their support. It's just, they have been everywhere for me. Thank you, Jimmy. I wasn't going to cry. I promise I'm not going to be up here forever. My mom, who doesn't get enough credit because she's always making cookies, and I told the girls already, I said, every day you're going to come here and you're going to have sweets, and I'm going to have to make you run about 20 extra sprints because my mom is putting on the pounds on you. So, but she doesn't get enough credit. She's been behind the scenes for years with my dad and his coaching and supported all of us, and we would not be the family we are without her holding us together. And I think we all know that's what moms do. My sister, who Nancy was just talking earlier, recruited her and recruited me, and she's the all-time leading scorer at our high school, and now working in the medical field, and she's been a best friend and someone that has to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, and she's always there for me, and I'm so thankful for her and my sweet niece Harper, she was cheering and clapping earlier. And then, of course, my dad, who's taught me more about coaching than anyone that I've come across. He's won 4 state championships, and we as a family are so proud of him. And I'm just glad that this opportunity has come, and he's going to get a chance to see me coach. And he'll be right there helping me behind the bench, I'm sure, yelling, telling me what to do. But I'm just so grateful for having such a good family, and then my extended family, who will all be here as well. We'll get some season tickets sold with them. When I first came to Northern, I was in high school, and we came to a team camp. I think Dad had brought us here to team camp over in Regents. And you could tell right away that this was a special place. And I remember that. And that's why when this job came open, I was so excited to chase it. And honestly, I did chase it. I wanted it. I felt I was ready. And, I spoke with Ken. I reached out to Ken, and in all of our talks, I just felt so comfortable with him and Leslie in our first meeting in Lexington. And Leslie asked me in that meeting, this is one thing that stuck with me. She asked me, what's your most rewarding moment as a coach? And while all the championships were amazing, and an Elite 8 run with a mid-major school was unbelievable, and the Sweet 16 at Kentucky was awesome, the thing that sticks out in my mind is the people. The people that I have come across in my life, and the players that I've been fortunate enough to coach. Those are the things that excite me. And to see all of you here, and I know in talking to Nancy, I've spoken to her a couple times since I was hired, and she talks about the people and how important that is to surround yourself with good people. And I can tell, Dawn and her staff did an amazing job, and I'd like to give them credit. These kids, when I met with them, they're looking at me in the face, they're sitting straight up, they're not on their cell phones, they're being very respectful, and I think that speaks to the character that they have and where this program is. It's already in such a great place, and I just look forward to building on that. And with the support of all of you, I hope to get to meet everybody in the room, and I'm just so grateful that you came out to support me. And I really look forward to an exciting season. We are going to have high expectations. When I met with the team, I asked them, tell me what you guys want. Where do you see yourselves? What do you want? This is our first year that we're able to compete in the NCAA tournament, and they all said without hesitation, we want to win. We want to go to the tournament. And that's my expectation. And we will every day work to play a style that's fun to watch, but it's going to be built around the fundamentals, hard work, and discipline. We are going to work very hard every day. We'll be diving on the floor after loose balls. We'll be able to shoot. We'll be able to pass. I want this to be fun for the fans. I want it to be fun for them. I want them to play a brand that they enjoy, and hopefully we'll get the most out of them in doing that. But that's exciting for me that they already have a vision that aligns with my vision. And we set some pretty lofty goals for the future, for a few years down the road. And that'll stay between us for now, the team and me. But when we get there, I'll tell you. And lastly, I have to say thank you to Nancy. Dawn did a great job in the past 4 years, and I commend her for the job that she did. And I've also talked with her and told her a couple times how thankful I am for that, because I'm pretty fortunate to walk into a situation like this. Nancy, though, has paved the way, and I look forward to working with her and helping to bring alumni into our program and make them feel like they are still part of our family, because they are. All the great former players that played here and won those national championships, they're the ones that put Northern Kentucky on the map. And I think we have to give credit to Nancy and her years and her commitment to this university and this community. And I hope to just learn from her and be able to embrace the community the way she did. And that excites me, because that's what I want. I want to be around great people in a great community, and I know that's what this is. And I've seen what that can do for a program, for a community, for players, for myself personally. And I'm really looking forward to that. And Nancy, I just really appreciate you being here today. And, you have meant a lot to me as a child growing up, and I watched this program growing up. But more importantly, you've meant so much to so many in this community. And I'm really glad to see you here, and I hope that you'll come and help me, help build it and sell more season tickets and get everybody back involved, because that's what we all want. So thank you again, everyone. Thanks to everyone that's had a part in the process. The committee, I didn't forget about you guys. I look forward to working with everybody. John, I really look forward to leaning on you a lot and getting some advice after you having a year under your belt. But it's great to be home. I'm extremely honored and humbled to be the head coach at Northern Kentucky University, and I look forward to a great year. Thank you.
At this time, we'll open it up to members of the media for any questions for Coach Whitaker, President Mearns, or Ken. Amanda and Mike both have microphones.
Coach, now that players are starting to scatter with the school year ending, what is on your to-do list here in the next couple months as you get started?
What is not on my to-do list is the question. There's a big one. Right now, my responsibility is to our players and building relationships with them, and that's where I'm going to start. The players that have signed, I'm going to spend some time with them and their families, getting to know them. I feel that's one of the most important things. And then getting ready, getting prepared for recruiting in July, and summer workouts is on the top of the list right now. And of course, hiring a staff is there too.
When you were here earlier this year with Kentucky, when they played right here, could you have even imagined at that point that next year you're going to be on that other bench coaching the Norse?
I had no idea. We were talking about that earlier, and I was here for the Sweet 16 as well, and it never even entered my mind because I knew how successful Dawn was, and so no, I had no idea this would happen.
Ken, can you speak to the selection of coach? Did you use the committee to identify candidates, or how did that process unfold?
Yeah, the process itself in terms of the identification of candidates was really Leslie and me in that process. What we used the committee for was to really do some screening of the candidates, spend some time with each of them, and provide feedback to us on several different questions that we had for them. They really were an experienced group that have been through searches like this before, and it's great to have people to lean on that really are perceptive about different qualities of different candidates and what they would bring.
Ken, this is the second year in a row, not only have you been able to bring in an outstanding basketball coach, but someone who's, sorry, I'm hiding over here.
That's my issue.
Not only do you bring in an outstanding basketball coach, someone who's well thought of, but another coach that's local to this area. How important when you're building a fan base, building a program, just like with the men's program, was it to bring somebody in that maybe had some ties to this area?
I don't think that probably enters your mind a whole lot when a search begins and you start to vet candidates and really have discussions with them. I think your focus really is on the core values in your program, and then obviously their strengths and coaching IQ and connections. So you spend a lot of time visiting with people about those things involved with candidates. But at the end of the day, I think when you really do start to focus in on people that you know you're interested in, certainly I think that feeling, that knowledge of the area and community, and then they want to be here. That's an important quality, I think, and we look for. Everyone will say they want to be here, but do you truly want to be here and stay here and build? Because it will take some time yet to build our program, and so we want people who want to be here to build it and to have that opportunity.
Coach, you've had a lot of mentors, as you mentioned. Is there one that's been most influential in your coaching philosophy or style?
Well, I'd have to say probably my dad, since he's been a coach for my entire life. The things I learned growing up, and my sister and I both, I know I can speak for her in this, is we just learned the value of hard work. In our house, we had to work. We didn't get to watch TV. We didn't get to play video games. We weren't on our phones. We were out mowing the yard and on the baseball field. And so more so than just the ability to coach, I learned just my core values, just hard work, discipline, honesty, having high character, and being respectful. And I think if you display those qualities in your everyday life, that they will show through on the floor and in the classroom, in every area of your life. So that's really what I would like to teach the kids, and that's what I hope to be a part of in their life, is to be as influential as my dad was in mine. And in terms of X's and O's, those things you learn, you pick up little pieces along the way and start to develop your own philosophy. So of course I've learned a ton from every coach that I've been able to coach with.
All right, thank you for attending today's press conference. At this time, President Mearns, Ken Butoff, Coach Whitaker, and Kelly Wigman will be available for one-on-one interviews with members of the media. As a reminder, everyone is encouraged to head to the vault for a reception and to meet Coach Whitaker. Thank you.